Heidi ho, heidi ho, heidi ho! My crafty friends, how are you today? So this is Lori at the Ladybug Journals, and I'm so glad that you joined me today. So today, we are going to complete yesterday's prompt, Altar Playing Cards and Antique Keys. Now, if you haven't seen the video that's titled Painted Keys, you need to go see that, because this is what we did for painted keys. We took a plain key, and that looks like, it looks like that. Okay, so that's what it looks like. It's just plain, and we turned it into that. Okay, this is what they look like now. Okay, they look a little more grungy, a little more old. This one's still my favorite. And we're going to do something with them. So I'm going to put them over here to the side. And we're going to use our playing cards. Now, as soon as the prompt list came out, I started thinking, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do? And I really, at the time, I didn't know. So, you know, I've kind of, oh, there it is. I knew I had that out. I knew I had it out. So I kind of, you know, wandered around my craft room, you know, like you do when you're trying to get ideas. And I kind of came up with, now Barbara, if you haven't seen Barbara's and Louisa's, you need to go watch them because they're totally and completely different. And if you haven't joined Louisa's Facebook group, you need to do that because it's chocked full of ideas. And Instagram, under the hashtag Defemeramber24, is chocked full of ideas. So you need to search that to really get some good ideas if you're stuck on anything. So I actually have several size playing cards, but I think we're going to use this because what we're going to do with this is I'm going to add it as a page. And we're also going to be changing the cover of my journal because I'm just not happy with it. And I don't know where I'm going to add it. I have no idea where I'm going to add it. But I want to add it as a page when we're finished. And we're going to add it using either just washi tape, or we're going to cut apart a piece of an envelope and make it, you know, as a page that goes like this. I don't know how we're going to add it, but we're going to add it. But the first thing I need to do is I need to scruff it up with my, you all know what this is. It's sandpaper. Oh my gosh. It's been a morning already, you guys. It's been a morning. I just had the boys out and it's freaking cold outside. All right, so I'm gonna get my cereal bag. This one's about ready for the trash. And I'm gonna put it up here. And all I'm gonna do, in case you've never seen this done, is I want to take it around the edge. And if you don't like the noise of sandpaper, mute it. Right now, I'm gonna give you fair warning. Mute your phone. Turn your volume down because this does make noise, okay? I'm gonna take it over. And basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the wax coating off. See the difference between the two sides? It takes the wax coating off of your card, but it also makes your card look, see, right there. It also makes your card look a little older, and it shakes your table, but it makes your card look a little more worn, a little older. And you have to go like this. Hold on, I gotta do it on the table. And you have to keep your thing cleaned out. Now, I want to do the back also, because you want to get that wax coating off before you do anything to your card. Now, if you don't have a block, that's okay. You can use an emery board. You can use just a piece of flat sandpaper. You can use, if you don't have either, don't panic. Use your, sorry about that, you guys. I got to get this cleaned off. You can use your, you can use gesso. Clear gesso works great. Yeah, sorry, PJ thinks somebody's knocking at the door. You can use clear gesso. You can use matte medium. You can use any. I gotta clean this out. It's just me, PJ. It's okay, buddy. Yeah, he's coming back here to see who's knocking on my door. There, okay. Now, let me clean it off. I'm wiping it on my sweatpants. Hold on a minute here. Okay, now I'm going to take this same thing and I'm going to take it around the edge. Now, if you don't like that sound, turn down the volume. But that's okay. I want that at the bottom. That's going to be at the bottom. But I'm going to try not to do that anymore, because I'm going to cut it. Because I want these edges to be a little scruffly. So if you don't like this sound, turn it down. Okay. Clean off those edges. And I think I might have to, that went down a little bit further than I wanted. So let's clean that off. Okay, we don't need this anymore. Good job, cereal bag. You have served me well, my friend. Oh no, you know what? I might be able to get a little bit more use out of it. I might keep it for a little bit longer. It was just me, buddy. Sorry, it was just me. Okay. So the next thing I want to do before I do anything else is I want to ink around these edges. And I found this, and I don't know, it was Michael's or Joann's, and I was just taken with it. It's got my 4 favorite colors in it. It's got Hickory Smoke over there. It's got Vintage Photo, Ground Espresso, and Black, all in one pad. How cool is that? So when you open it up, there they are. Your 4 favorite colors all together. So I want this. And I'm just going to go on and it's ink. It's not oxide, it's ink. But I want to go on and go around my edge here while I've got it. And I'm going to turn it over, and I want to do it on this side also. Since it's going to be a flip, I'm going to see both sides. And I also want to, and you'll notice I've covered my table, and I'm probably going to bring that back. So I don't mind doing this on the table. I want to schmuck it up a little bit since I've taken off some of that wax. I'm just using what's left on here. I'm not really going to add much more. I just want some of that white off. I might have to add a little bit. Just a little bit, because I don't want it white for our next step. Yeah, I don't want it white. Now in the middle, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to put that over there. Okay, so now it's not white. Okay, now this up here, I am going to have to deal with because it's down too far. So I'm getting the hiccups, you guys. I'm so sorry. I haven't had them in a long time. So I'm just going to choose a piece of washi. And I need to grab my glue stick, because this is really old. And I'm just going to put a piece of washi up here, because that will be perfect. Yeah, and it's got numbers on it, so that's perfect. Let me grab my glue stick here. I'm going to need it anyhow. I'm going to need this anyhow, so I'm just going to put that right across there a little bit. I don't need a big piece, because the next step, I just want these few little numbers here just to go across there. Just like that. Just to kind of hold that together. And I'm going to do the same on the back. Just at the top. I'm not doing it in the middle part. And except this piece is going to be a little bit bigger, which is okay. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Right there. Okay, just like that. Now, I'm going to take, and I want to cover this, and I'm going to use the Ideology collage paper, and this one's called Document, okay? Now, I sat here for a good while this morning thinking, do I cover it first, and then I do the next step, or do I do my next step, and then I cover it? I'm covering it first. So on the front, I'm going to take my glue stick. Actually, I'm going to pick out the piece of this that I want. Now, if you've never used this, this is so much fun to use. And it comes in several different patterns. But look at this. Isn't this fun? It's got all different kinds of things on it. And you don't have to start from this end. And many times I don't. I pick out what I want and I cut it off and I just use it. So the rose is where it starts, right here. And right there's the rose again. So I know I can cut right here. And I have a full piece of it. And then I can take this piece and put it back in the tube. So, you know, kind of like Christmas wrap, it doesn't go rolling all across your floor. So this is what I want to cover my card. That's the piece that I want right there. Just like that. And then on the back, I want this piece. I want that piece. So I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm going to cover my card like this. And I know you're thinking, but then you can't do anything because it's wet, Lori. I know. But that's okay. Oops. I know. We're going to take care of that. We're going to take our dryer to it. And we're going to dry it. Okay, so here's going to be the front. Let me put that up there. And you could stamp your card, you know, and decorate your card more if you chose to do so. But this had so much on it. Now, you want to make sure it's how you want it. Just like that. I want it just like that. Now, I could go on and cover this, you know, wrap it around, which is my plan. I want to wrap it around like this. Now, you could also use a tea bag if you wanted. You could cover it with a tea bag. You know, you could collage it if you wanted. And do all the stamping and all the fun stuff if you wanted. And if I do another one, you know, for another signature, I probably will do that. My tea bags, these are gallon-sized tea bags, in case you're wondering. These are gallon-sized tea bags, and they weren't quite big enough for this card, but for a regular-sized playing card, they're perfect. So if you have a gallon-sized tea bag and a regular-sized playing card, they're perfect. So I don't want the flower, but I do want this little label. So I'm cutting the flower part off because I want this to wrap just a little bit around this edge. Now, you got to keep it tight, and I'm trying to keep it, you know, fairly straight. I can trim it. And if it gets wrinkled like it did right there, that's okay. That's okay. I'm trying to keep it straight, but you know me. It is not going to go straight. When have I ever done anything straight? Exactly. You can't think of a time, can you? I can't either. Okay. Now, I'm going to, oops, I need to put glue over here, don't I? I need to put some glue on this side. Just like that. And now my edges are covered. Just like that. Make sure that goes down flat. And bring that down flat over there. So now my card is covered. I can still see here. I can see through there. And I can see the front. Now, you can't do anything to this right now because it's wet. But I can go on and trim this off. And once my glue dries a little bit more, anything that, you know, looks a little wampadoodled, I can take care of. And I can go on. I can trim this off the top. Or I can use that and trim it off. Now this, I did not get very flush right here. So if I don't like it, I can take this and you can go like this. Let me show you. You ready? Oh, let me trim this off the bottom. I'll show you. My edge won't be covered here on the bottom, but let me show you how you do this with this. You drag down. And that gives you a nice clean edge. Okay. So over here, so any place that I didn't get cut, it'll just let it come right off. And you just take it across and it just cuts it just like that. Okay? And it gives you a nice clean edge on your card. Okay? Okay, so right here on the top, I need some glue. Right there. Okay, so this little piece and this little piece, I can put back. You can save them, and you can put them back in your tube. And they'll wrap around this big tube, this big piece. You can go like this, and you can wrap them around and put them back in your tube. Just like that. Just like that. And then you can put them away. Okay, so we're going to throw this stuff away because we don't need that. Just like that. Now, I'm done with this. So for those of you that hate the sound of sandpaper, you can take your fingers out of your ears. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to cut out this centerpiece right here. Okay. Now, like I said, this has to dry a little bit or it's going to rip. So to do that, let me get some things out of my way here. I want to use my dryer just a little bit to get this dry, okay? But before I dry it, I do want to add, see, everything's kind of disappearing as it dries. Everything's it's disappearing a little bit. So I do want to do some stamping on it. So I got out some of my favorite stamps. I got out some inks. I got out my Toadstool Taupe from my Lindy's Gang. We're going to add a little bit of water. I got out a couple of my favorite little stamps. And we're going to stamp on this to add a little bit of texture to it. And then we're just going to do a little bit of splatters. I had my gold paint. Oh, here's the rest of my inks. We're going to do a little bit of spraying before we dry. Because if we're going to dry, we might as well dry all at one time. And I've already got everything covered, so, you know, we're going to make a mess. Let's make a mess. So, one of my favorite stamps, or two of my favorite stamps, are these. I love this one. It's music notes, and If you've watched any of my videos, you've seen me use it before. And I don't want a big piece of it, but I want just a little tiny piece of it right back in here. Oh, you know what? I think I just changed my mind. I found one I like better. I found one I like better for this. Even though I love this one, I love this one, I think I found one that I will like better on here. Get off of there. Come on, you guys, cooperate with me. And these stamps, this is a little set. I just got them on Amazon. I don't even know when. This one I got on Amazon, and I've liked it so much, I've bought several of them as gifts. Let's put these two back in here. And I keep all my little stamps together in these little 5.5 by 7 envelopes. It just kind of keeps them neat and tidy. Okay, that's the one that I want to use. All right, here. Come on. Oh my goodness. It does not want to come off. Do you guys have that problem with stamps? These stamps not wanting to come off? Whew, I do. And I don't know if I'm just not storing them correctly or just because they're, they've never been used. I don't know what the problem is. But I want to use, because this is the red, there it is right there. Sorry about my arm. I don't want that. I want to use this barn door on it. I don't think that's going to work very well on it. Let's see. I don't like that. I do not like that. Let's get, how about we use either that one. Okay, you silly. Hold on a second, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to use the Festive Berries. It's a little more red. And it is an oxide, so anything else that I hit with it, it is gonna do a little running. Now, I don't want a lot of it because it is a little busy. I just want a few, little hits of it here and there. Ooh, and it is soaking up. Let's see if we can take some of it off here on that back side. I'm not thinking I like this stamp very well. It's an either all or nothing type stamp. That's better. I don't like that up there at all. Okay, let's get it cleaned off here. Now, there was a place on the back here that, right here, that I wanted to put, I thought I had a number stamp. Just a, you know, a plain number. Oh, there it is right there. That I wanted to put in there. Oh, goodness sakes. All right, I think it'll fit. I think this one's small enough. Let's see, is this number small enough? Yeah, that number will fit. And I just want to use the black. And this is going to be ink that we're going to use. Let's see, it goes this way. Just like that. And then I wanted to put a little butterfly down here. And I have that. Let's get that ink off of there. Seems like the inks work better on this than the oxides do. All right. Let's put this little tiny stamp away. Okay. And I have a little over here. Have a little butterfly or a little dragonfly. I think the little butterfly will be perfect for over here, for right in there. Let's get these oxides out of the way because they don't do very well. We're going to stick with the inks here because they're not spreading as much. And I think we might just go with Hickory Smoke over here. Let's see what that looks like. I don't think I like that. I don't think I like that color. We might just stay with black. I'm thinking we're just going to stay with black. Right there. And we're just going to give these a minute to dry. But I also think I'm going to put this little butterfly up here. And we're just going to stamp this ink off like this. Yeah, you can never have too many butterflies as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. All right, we're just going to let this ink dry here before we do anything else. Do I have him upside down? Because when I stamp him, he looks like it, doesn't it? I'm not sure if I do or not. Oh no, what do you guys think? Does he look upside down? I can't tell. See, he looks upside down there. All right, let's try it this way. I'm not really sure. Huh. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Stamping an upside down butterfly. Well, you know, Butterflies, I guess, can do as butterflies choose. All right, so I'm thinking everything is good and dry. We're going to let that ink dry before we spray it with anything. But I'm not going to spray it with anything until after we put, after we cut everything out. So I'm going to show you, I'm not going to do any of the other sprays and the inks until after I cut everything out. All right, so let's get this stuff out of the way. Now what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to cut out this centerpiece here. So to do that, I need this. Okay. And let's see. I need my metal ruler. And I need my knife. Okay. Now make sure your knife has a sharp blade. Okay. And I am going to move you up here just a smidge so my head's not in the way. Oops, get over there. And I'm going to line this up. And I'm not going to start at the top. I'm starting in the middle. And if I don't get it all the way to the edge, see, I didn't get it all the way to the edge. That's okay. I can come back and I can get that edge. Either with my scissors, or I can move my ruler over a little bit and hold it down. You just want to make sure that you're okay. Now that I'm down here, now that I've got the first cut, I can come over here and I can follow this line. Now, I think you've seen me do this before. It's slow and easy is the best way to do it. Now, the reason I started down a little bit and not at the top was for this reason. Because I never make my first cut all the way in. And had I started up here, my first cut would be all the way over at this heart. So now I can come all the way over here and I can make up for that. I can take my scissors in, I can clean that up, where otherwise I would already be all the way over into there and I'd have a mess. Okay, now the trick to doing this is you have to push down, and you have to go slow and easy, just like when you're cutting out, something for your journals. Slow and easy. If you don't like using a knife, you can always, make your X and cut it out with scissors. That's, like you do when you fussy cut. You can always do that. But you do have to wait until your glue has dried, or you're going to tear everything that you just put down. So don't try to do it while your glue is wet. And if you start to do it and it feels kind of wampadoodled, like it just doesn't want to work, put it down and just go do something else and let it dry a little bit more. It doesn't matter if you're not up to date. I'm not up to date. As you can tell, I'm a day late and $1 short. Let it dry, because otherwise you're not going to be happy. And if you're not happy with it, you're not going to be happy forever with it. So let it dry. There's no rules in this daily challenge. There are no rules whatsoever. Okay. All right, I need to go through the top a little bit more. Slow and easy. Now you can do this on either side of these cards. You can do it on this side with the little people looking at you, or you can turn it over. Okay, so I still need to get my corner there. Right there. Okay, so now I need to pick up that little piece right there. Right here, I need to pick that up. So I'm going to come in with my knife, and I'm going to go extra slow. And I'm putting my finger right here on top of my blade, because I tend to push really hard. And with this knife, my blade bends. I need to get a different type of knife. So, do you guys have any recommendations on craft knives? You know, good craft knives that are easy to hold on to. There we go. Okay, I'm going to take my scissors and get that piece of paper. This is the type that I use. Do you guys have any recommendations on one that, you know, it would be easier that I don't bend the blade? Any recommendations on something that you use? Okay, now I'm just gonna use my Ionic little scissors by Tim Holtz, and I'm gonna come in and trim up that paper and any place else that I need to trim. These little dudes will cut through anything. There. Now basically I have a frame, and I can check the back. Okay, now basically I've made a frame. Now, how am I going to add my key? Now, I know you're wondering, how in the heck is she going to add a key to this? Well, let me just show you what my plans are. First thing I need to do, let's move this. Let's get that out of the way. First thing I want to do, we need to move our stamps. We don't need those. Now, what did we do? Here it is. We need our cereal bag. And you know what? I don't think I want to add much, because this is soaking stuff up. See, that's really soaking things up. But I do think I want to do some splatters, maybe with the gold. I do think I'm going to use the gold, because by the looks of things, I don't know. Think we should try it? Oh, heck, why not, huh? Why not? So I'm going to take my Toadstool Taupe from Lindy's Ink. And in here, we're going to put it in here just a little. And I'm just going to take my brush and I'm dipping it in. I just want a little bit, because, you know, this is just a little project. Get that off there. And I'm just going to squirt just a smidgen of water. Maybe. Make sure the dog's not down there and I just squirt him with water. Okay. Let's mix it up. Oh, you know what? Before we do that, I want to ink around the inside here. So I do need this. I want to ink around here. So before we add anything else, I want to do this. Okay, there's that. That's done. Now, I do have wipes on the table because you guys know how messy I am at this. Okay. Now, I also need to get my gold in here, just a little smidgen, because, yeah, I've used it so much that we're going to put a drop in there. And I'm just going to put a squirt of water in it. Now, I'm going to take this toadstool that I did, and I'm just going to splatter, as I just want some splatters. Let's get some down here. Okay. Now let's turn it over. Ooh, I like this side. I think I really like this side. Okay. Let's look over here. I think this side could use a few more. Okay, and what I'm doing up here is I'm just adding like this. Now I'm going to do the same down here. Okay. Now I'm just leaving whatever's on my brush, and I'm going to stir in the gold into the water. I'm just going to let it sit. Okay. Oops, get up there. Alrighty, so I have some black. This is where my mess comes in. I probably should have put my apron on. You know what? Let me grab my apron. Okay. I'm going to do just a quick little squirt of black. I'm going to move my hand way up. Okay. And I want to turn this side over. I'll do the same thing over here. Now, if you have an ink spray box, this is a good place to do that. That was a big old blob down there. So we're going to soak up that big old blob. And then we're going to soak up some of this. But we're going to leave it on the paper. And we're going to rub it off with the paper towel. But I don't want that to get all over my... Oops, too late. I got to go to a Christmas party tonight. Oh, well, I'll go with black ink on my hands. Okay. Now we're going to add a little bit of our... Do we want to add that? No, we're just going to add some of the gold. Let's see if she's thin enough here. I don't think she is. We're going to have to thin her down a little bit. A little bit more. I think I'm going to have to start using my watercolor. I think that's going to work better. Because this does not cooperate with me. Even though I like the shine of my acrylic paint better, she does not cooperate with me. All right. You always have to have gold. Okay, so I'm going to add some gold right here. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I'm just kind of outlining this just a little bit. Oops, hit a piece of wet black. Just a little bit left. Okay. Now let me get my brush off of here and get this off, and then we're going to hit our next step. I will be right back. Okay, everything is dry and everything is ready to go. So now we need to pick the key that we want. And I think I like, oh, I like that one. Now, you can spray your keys also. You probably want to spray them to keep them sealed because they're going to get smacked around in your book. So you do want to seal them with something like, you can seal them with a clear Mod Podge. You can seal them with something like a water, just a plain glue, something that's going to dry clear. You don't want to seal them with something that has a color to it. Something that's going to seal in your paint, because as it gets smacked around in your book, your paint's going to come off, which I have not done yet. So I do need to do that. Okay, so from here, I've added a jump ring to all of them. Here at the top, I've added a jump ring. And I want these to hang right here in the middle, like this. So I know where I want these to go. Now, I can also seal this like that. And if you wanted, you could add a transparency film on the front and the back if you chose. You know, to keep your key from flipping and flopping around if you want. I didn't want to do that. But feel free to do that if you want. And if you want me to show you how to do that, we still have 2 more keys. I'll be glad to show you how to do that. You know, all you have to do is let me know. So at the top here in the center, let me grab my ruler so I can find center here. I want to make sure I punch my hole here in the middle. All right, so center of this card. Let me get my pencil. Oops, come here, pencil. Now, you're probably going to see my head for a second, so sorry about that. make sure here. Let's see, I want it right about up here. Oh, I can't see it. Let me get this so I can make sure it's straight. And I can't see what I marked. Let me make my pencil mark a little darker. That's the center, but I want it down. Now let's see if I can, right there is where I made my mark. Right there. All right, so while I can still see it, right there. All right, so now let's make sure I can see it when I put it in here. You know what? Instead of putting it in that big thing, I'm going to make a starter hole with this little one. Oh Lord, I've lost it again. Let me turn it this way. There's that one. Let's take it this way. Okay, there's my starter hole, right there. Goodness sakes. There. It's pretty bad when your pencil mark gets caught up in all your polka dots. All right, so now I want to put a... there it is right there. I want to put an eyelet in there because I know it's going to get pulled out. Come on. There you go, big guy. Okay. Now, hanging from that eyelet, and I'm going to take, this is just a really thin twine. I just need to determine here how much down I need to go. Luckily, I have a flower down here, so that's helping me remember what's top and what's bottom, or I'd be in a heap of trouble. All right, so I'm just going to pull it off longer than what I need because I can trim it after I do it. All right, so I'm going to loop it through the eyelet like this. Maybe, if it'll go. I'm hoping it goes. Yeah, it'll go. So I'm just looping it through my eyelet. and I'm taking it down like that. And then I'm just, see how I did that? Instead of bringing it over the top, I kept it at the bottom. Now I'm making sure it's straight. And then I'm going to put it on my key. Turn around here. Now, you can add 2 keys to this if you want. Now, I'm adding it. Oh, gracious. Come here, you. I'm going to add it through this. Now, I'm going to decide where I want it to hang. I want it to hang here. So I'm just going to hold it in place. And I'm just going to tie a little knot. Now, by holding it in place, I can get my knot where I want it. There, like that. Just like that. And if I'm sure, and I think I will add the second one. I think I'm going to add this one. But I do need to, oh, I did paint the back of it. Good. But I want this one longer. So I'm going to add this one. But I want this one longer. So I want this one to go down here. But I don't want it to touch. So I do need to make sure it's straight though. So I want it to hang here. Like that. Maybe right there. So I'm going to, again, I'm holding it in place. And I'm just bringing it around. And I'm just going to tie a knot. And this is the way I add charms to my, for my spine dangles. This is the way I add everything on my spine. So after seeing Barbara add hers, I thought, oh, well, good. I'm not the only one that does this. And then if you wanted to add anything else, you could add other things. Okay. Now, from here, add a dot of glue to your knots. And clip them. Okay, clip your strings. But I still need to seal my keys. Okay. Now, how are we going to add this to our page? Well, I am going to take a piece of our card right here, and I'm going to put it right there. And, oops, wrong side. Nope, we're going to cut it at 1 inch. We're just going to use our card. And I think I'm just going to use our paper cutter to cut it here. So I make sure I get it straight. Now, because we didn't ink this, we're going to have to ink it. Now, let's see. Where did the card go? Here's one piece. Oh, here it is. Whoops. Let's make sure this piece is 1 inch. Like this. Okay, we don't need this piece, but we are going to keep it. Oopsie doodles. Okay, and I'm going to ink my edges. I never said I was perfect, you guys. I just said I did this for fun. And you guys watch me, so apparently you want to have fun too. So I don't know what to tell you. If you're watching me goof around. Okay. Yeah. And now that I'm looking at it, I don't know if I want to attach this or not. At least not the way I think I do. I think you need a bath, my friend. Because I'm thinking it's going to take away from our side, isn't it? And it's a little wibbly wobbly. You're a little wibbly wobbly, my friend. Yeah, I think I like that piece. The reason I cut two of them was I wasn't sure after I folded it what piece I would like. Now that I've got it folded, I like this piece. Those little eyeballs, they creep me out. Okay. Now, where's our book? Okay, I'm going to keep this piece too. It's going to go in our supply box. So, let's decide where we're going to put this. I'm thinking I want it back here. Because this page back here was so fun. I'm thinking I want it back here. So this was why I didn't add all those extra little pages, was because I wanted to add them myself. Ooh, I like this page. Okay, so I'm going to take this. No, I don't think I want it there. I think I want it maybe, do we want it toward the inside? Or do we want it just flat on the page? Oh, maybe we just want it flat on the page. Ooh, I like that. I think I like that better. Here, let me pull that out. I think just flat on the page, just like that. So that's where it's going to be added, maybe. But which side? Yeah, see, we did two sides, and now I'm thinking. Yeah, I think just this side. I like this side the best. So I'm just going to add mine right here. And I'm going to date my page. So let me grab a pen. And I think I'm going to date my page right down here at the bottom. Okay. There's my date on my page. Okay, we're going to leave this pen out so we can date our pages. And that's where our page is going to go, right there. Just like that. And I will clip these, but like I said, I do need to spray my keys. So flopping around in the book doesn't get them, doesn't ruin them. So I will spray them this afternoon, and then I'll mount that in the book. And there will be a picture mounted. You'll see that with this video. When you see the video, you'll see this. And we still have one key left. So if you would like to see that this done some other way, let me know. And we'll do that in another type with a key, or we'll do that some other way. And I'll be glad to show it to you. So thank you for watching me today, and for completing our very first, come here you. We have completed our very first one. Let's mark that one off. And the next one is layered tag and retro film strip. Oh my goodness gracious. Well, I see these as two separate, possibly. Maybe not. I have to think about that one. That's another one I've been doing some serious thinking about. I do have an idea, but you know how my ideas go. They change just all of a sudden. So we'll see how that goes. So until I see you again in our next video for Ephemera 24. How about that? I said it, you guys. Thanks for watching, and thanks for working in your journals with me. I hope you had some fun, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you create with everybody. Don't forget, there are lots of other videos out there under this prompt, so make sure that you watch them and you enjoy them and you get some good creative juices flowing. And until I see you again, thumbs up, make sure you share, leave me a comment, and ta-ta for now.